Success isn't something that happens by chance. It is a state of mind that you assume before it becomes visible in your world. To manifest success, you must first act as if it is already achieved. When you internalize this, you begin to shape your reality in ways that align with your ultimate goal. Success begins in the mind because every outcome you experience in life is first formed by the thoughts you consistently entertain. Before any action is taken, before any external result can appear, it must first be created within your inner world. The thoughts, beliefs, and images you hold about yourself and your potential determine the kind of success you will experience. Your mind is a powerful creative force, constantly shaping your reality based on the ideas you accept as true. If you believe in your ability to succeed, then success becomes a natural extension of your inner convictions. The mind is always at work, whether you're conscious of it or not. Every thought carries energy, and this energy influences your decisions, your behaviors, and the circumstances that arise around you. When you fill your mind with thoughts of success, you open the door for it to manifest in your life. These thoughts begin to create a framework for what is possible. You no longer operate from a place of doubt or limitation. Instead, you begin to see opportunities that others might overlook. And you approach challenges with a mindset that says, I can overcome this. The foundation of success lies in understanding that the mind doesn't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. When you think of success, your mind starts to align your actions and decisions with that image, even if it hasn't yet materialized in the physical world. This is the power of visualization, a mental tool that many successful people use to manifest their desires. By repeatedly imagining yourself in a successful position, you train your mind to expect it, and this expectation is what drives the unfolding of circumstances in your favor. Success is not just about thinking positively or wishing for good things to happen. It's about reprogramming your subconscious mind, which holds your deeply ingrained beliefs and perceptions. If you've been conditioned to believe that success is difficult to achieve or reserved for a select few, those beliefs will create barriers in your life. However, when you consciously feed your mind with new, empowering thoughts, those old limitations begin to dissolve. You start to think, feel, and act as someone who is destined for success. This mental shift is the true beginning of achievement. Many people underestimate the power of the mind and spend their time focusing on external actions, hoping that those actions will lead to success. While action is necessary, it is the quality of the mind behind the action that determines the result. You can work tirelessly, but if your mind is filled with thoughts of failure, unworthiness, or lack, that energy will taint your efforts. Conversely, if you approach your work with a mindset rooted in success, you'll find that your actions flow more effortlessly, and opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. This is because your mind is now attuned to success, and it begins to draw the right circumstances into your life. The key to mastering your mind is persistence. You must consistently direct your thoughts toward success, even when external circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. This requires discipline and a deep understanding that your inner world always precedes your outer experience. Many people give up on their dreams because they allow temporary setbacks to dominate their thinking. But those who achieve lasting success know that it begins and ends in the mind. They maintain their focus, regardless of what is happening around them, because they understand that the mind is always shaping their future reality. Another crucial aspect of success beginning in the mind is the importance of self-talk. The way you speak to yourself internally has a direct impact on your confidence and motivation. If you constantly criticize yourself or doubt your abilities, those thoughts will create mental blocks that hinder your progress. On the other hand, if you speak to yourself as someone who is capable and deserving of success, your mind will respond by reinforcing that belief. This is why it's important to be mindful of the thoughts you allow to occupy your mind. Your self-talk should reflect the success you want to experience. The mind also works best when it's clear and focused. If your thoughts are scattered or filled with distractions, your ability to manifest success becomes weakened. This is why meditation, visualization, and other mental practices are so valuable. They help to quiet the noise of everyday life and bring your mind into a state of clarity and intention. When your mind is focused, your energy is directed toward a single purpose, and this focused energy is what accelerates the manifestation of success. success begins in the mind, but it doesn't end there. The mind is the starting point that sets everything else in motion. By cultivating thoughts of success, by feeding your mind with images and beliefs that reflect the reality you want to create, you lay the groundwork for everything that follows. It's an ongoing process, requiring consistent effort and attention, but the rewards are undeniable. When you truly understand that your mind holds the key to your success, you begin to see that there are no limits to what you can achieve. Everything you need is already within you, waiting to be brought into reality through the power of your thoughts. To truly manifest success, you must feel the emotion of achievement before it physically arrives in your life. This principle taps into a powerful truth. Emotion is the driving force behind manifestation. While thoughts can direct your focus, it's the feelings you hold that generate the energy needed to bring your desires into reality. When you feel the emotion of achievement, you align yourself with the frequency of success. In essence, you are living as if it has already happened. And this energetic alignment is what draws success into your experience. Feeling the emotion of achievement means tapping into the joy, pride, relief, and satisfaction that comes from having already accomplished your goal. It's not about waiting for the external proof of success to feel these emotions. Instead, it's about generating them internally, as though you are already living in that state. This process begins with your imagination. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving your goal. Imagine the details vividly: where you are, who is with you, what you're wearing, what you see, hear, and feel. Let yourself be fully immersed in the experience of your success. The more vivid and real it feels, the more powerful your emotional connection becomes. The beauty of this approach is that your mind doesn't distinguish between real and imagined emotions. When you feel the joy of achieving your goal, your mind accepts that feeling as your current reality. It then works in the background to align your actions, thoughts, and circumstances with this new state of being. This is the essence of how feeling the emotion of achievement can transform your life. Instead of being stuck in a mindset of wanting or lacking, you elevate yourself into a state of having and being. You move from desire to fulfillment simply by generating the emotions of success within yourself. This emotional alignment also influences how you interact with the world around you. When you walk through life already feeling like a success, your energy changes. You carry yourself differently, speak with more confidence, and naturally attract people and opportunities that match your vibration. Others can sense this shift in your energy, even if they don't consciously realize it. People are drawn to those who exude a sense of accomplishment and self-assuredness, and they often want to be part of that energy. This is why feeling the emotion of achievement not only changes your internal state, but also has a profound effect on your external reality. The emotions you cultivate create the atmosphere in which you live. If you constantly feel stressed, anxious, or worried about whether you'll succeed, you'll find that these emotions tend to perpetuate the very circumstances you're trying to avoid. But when you shift to feelings of fulfillment and accomplishment, your environment begins to reflect those emotions back to you. The challenges and setbacks that once seemed insurmountable begin to lose their power over you. Instead of reacting from a place of lack or fear, you respond from a position of strength and confidence, because you're already living in the emotional state of success. It's important to remember that the emotion of achievement doesn't come from external validation or recognition. It comes from within. No matter where you are on your journey, you can always access this feeling by focusing on the inner experience of success. Whether or not anyone else sees it yet is irrelevant. What matters is how you feel about yourself and your accomplishments. The more you cultivate this internal sense of success, the less dependent you become on outside circumstances to dictate your emotions. One of the most effective ways to maintain the feeling of achievement is through gratitude. When you're grateful for your success, even before it fully materializes, you reinforce the feeling that it's already yours. Gratitude brings you into the present moment and helps you recognize that everything you need to succeed is already available to you. This mindset shift is incredibly powerful because it removes the sense of distance between where you are and where you want to be. By feeling thankful for the success you are manifesting, you accelerate its arrival into your life. Living in the emotion of achievement doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It means choosing to focus on the desired outcome rather than getting lost in the obstacles along the way. Every successful person faces challenges, but what sets them apart is their ability to stay connected to the feeling of accomplishment, even in the midst of difficulty. They hold on to the emotion of success as a guiding force that helps them navigate through setbacks and stay aligned with their ultimate vision. When you consistently feel the emotion of achievement, you're signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive your success. You're no longer asking for it, you're claiming it. This shift in energy moves you from a state of wanting to a state of having. And when you embody the feeling of having already achieved your goals, the universe responds in kind. It mirrors your internal state and brings you the people, situations, and opportunities that align with the success you are already feeling. The more you feel the emotion of achievement, the more you attract the actual experience of it into your life. Emotion is the fuel that powers your manifestation. When you learn to consistently generate the feelings of success, you set yourself on a path where success is not just a distant possibility, but an inevitable reality. To achieve success, it is essential to align your actions with your vision. Your vision represents the ultimate outcome you desire, but it cannot exist in isolation from your actions. While the mind is a powerful tool for creating the reality you want, action is the bridge that brings that vision into the physical world. Every step you take, every decision you make, should be guided by the clarity of what you intend to achieve. When your actions are aligned with your vision, you create a direct pathway to the fulfillment of your desires. This alignment ensures that you are constantly moving in the direction of your goals, even when obstacles arise. It's not enough to simply have a vision of success in your mind. You must actively participate in its realization by taking the steps that support and reinforce that vision. These actions, no matter how small, carry the energy of intention. They signal to the universe that you are serious about manifesting what you desire. When you align your actions with your vision, you begin to operate from a place of purpose. You're no longer acting out of habit or randomness, you're acting with deliberate intent, knowing that each action is contributing to the larger picture you created in your mind. Alignment means that every aspect of your life reflects the vision you've set for yourself. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all working together in harmony to create the outcome you desire. This level of congruence is powerful because it eliminates confusion and mixed signals. When your actions are out of alignment with your vision, you send conflicting messages to yourself and the world. You may say you want success, but if your actions are driven by doubt, fear, or procrastination, you create resistance that slows down or even blocks the manifestation of your goals. But when your actions are fully aligned with your vision, everything flows more easily. Aligning your actions with your vision requires consistency. It's not enough to take a few inspired actions and then return to old habits. Success demands sustained effort, and that effort must be in service to your vision. Every day presents an opportunity to reinforce the alignment between your actions and what you want to achieve. This means being mindful of how you spend your time, where you direct your energy, and what choices you make. Are you making decisions that bring you closer to your vision, or are you allowing distractions to pull you away from it? The more consistently you align your actions with your vision, the more momentum you build toward your goals. Sometimes aligning your actions with your vision requires making difficult choices or sacrifices. You may need to let go of behaviors, relationships, or environments that no longer serve your path. It can be uncomfortable, but this process of letting go is essential to maintaining alignment. When you are committed to your vision, you understand that every action must contribute to its fulfillment, and anything that pulls you in a different direction must be released. This doesn't mean you have to live in constant struggle or deprivation, rather. It's about making choices that are in harmony with where you want to go. When your actions align with your vision, you create a sense of inner peace and clarity. You know that you're on the right path, because your actions are a reflection of your deepest desires. This alignment gives you confidence, because you're no longer second-guessing yourself or wondering whether you're doing the right thing. You trust that, as long as your actions are in sync with your vision, the results will follow. This sense of certainty is a powerful motivator. It helps you stay committed, even when progress seems slow or the journey becomes difficult. One of the most important aspects of aligning your actions with your vision is the willingness to take inspired action. Inspired action is different from forced or random effort. It comes from a place of alignment with your inner self and your vision. When you are in alignment, you'll often find that the right ideas, opportunities, or steps present themselves at the perfect time. You don't have to push or struggle to make things happen. Instead, you're guided by an inner knowing that this is the right action to take. These inspired actions feel effortless because they are in harmony with the flow of your vision. However, this doesn't mean that every action will be easy. Sometimes aligning your actions with your vision means stepping outside of your comfort zone or facing challenges that test your resolve. But when you know that your actions are aligned with your ultimate goal, you're willing to push through the discomfort because you understand the bigger picture. You're no longer acting from a place of fear or avoidance, but from a place of commitment to your vision. This mindset shift is key to staying on course, even when external circumstances seem to be working against you. The alignment of action and vision also requires patience. It's easy to get frustrated or discouraged when results don't appear as quickly as you'd like. But true alignment means trusting the process and knowing that every action, no matter how small, is contributing to the manifestation of your vision. Each step you take brings you closer to the reality you've envisioned, even if the results aren't immediately visible. This patience comes from the understanding that success is not just about the destination, but about consistently aligning yourself with your vision in every moment. When your actions are aligned with your vision, success becomes inevitable. You're no longer relying on luck or chance to achieve your goals. Instead, you're actively creating your success through the choices you make and the actions you take. Every moment becomes an opportunity to reinforce your alignment, and with each step you move closer to the realization of your dreams. Your thoughts create your reality, shaping every aspect of your life from the inside out. What you hold in your mind influences not only how you perceive the world, but also how the world responds to you. This is not just a philosophical idea, but a powerful principle that governs the unfolding of your experiences. The thoughts you consistently focus on become the blueprint for your reality. Every belief, expectation, and idea you entertain lays the foundation for what manifests in your life. In essence, the world around you mirrors the thoughts you think, reflecting them back to you in the form of your circumstances, relationships, and experiences. The key to understanding how your thoughts create reality lies in recognizing that your mind is a creative force. Each thought carries a unique energy that influences the conditions you experience. Positive, empowering thoughts lead to favorable outcomes, while negative, limiting thoughts bring about obstacles and challenges. This is not a matter of luck or coincidence, it's the natural outcome of how the mind interacts with the universe. When you think positively, focusing on success, abundance, and happiness, you align yourself with those outcomes. On the other hand, when your thoughts are consumed by doubt, fear, or failure, you unknowingly invite those very things into your life. The process of creation begins in the mind, but it doesn't end there. Thoughts are the seeds of creation, and just like seeds, they require nurturing and care. The thoughts you choose to focus on determine the energy you send out into the world. Your dominant thoughts, the ones you revisit day after day after day, hold the most power in shaping your reality. These thoughts create a vibration that resonates with similar energies in the universe, attracting corresponding experiences into your life. In this way, your mind is constantly working to bring your outer world into alignment with your inner beliefs and expectations. Your thoughts also influence your emotions, and these emotions add another layer of power to the creative process. When you think about something, you naturally generate a feeling that matches the thought. If you think about success, you begin to feel motivated, excited, and confident. If you dwell on failure, you might feel anxious, stressed, or defeated. These emotions amplify the energy of your thoughts, accelerating the process of manifestation. The stronger the emotion tied to a thought, the more quickly it manifests into reality. This is why it's so important to be mindful of what you're thinking and how it makes you feel. It's not enough to simply think positive thoughts. Occasionally, you must cultivate a mindset that consistently supports the reality you want to create. This means paying attention to the habitual patterns of thought that dominate your mind. Are you regularly thinking thoughts that align with success, love, and abundance? Or do you find yourself slipping into negative patterns of doubt, fear, or limitation? The more you become aware of your thought patterns, the more control you have over the reality you create. By consciously choosing thoughts that reflect the life you want to live, you begin to steer your life in the direction of your desires. This creative process is always active, whether you are conscious of it or not. Your reality is the sum total of the thoughts you have been thinking up until this point. If you look around at your life and see things you don't like or wish were different, it's a signal to examine your thinking. What thoughts have you been entertaining that led to these outcomes? What beliefs have you held on to that may no longer serve you? Recognizing the connection between your thoughts and your reality empowers you to make a change. Once you take responsibility for your thoughts, you realize that you have the ability to create a new reality simply by changing the way you think. This is not to say that life will always be easy or that challenges won't arise. However, when you understand that your thoughts are the driving force behind your reality, you gain the power to respond to those challenges in a way that aligns with your ultimate vision. Instead of being reactive, you become proactive in shaping your circumstances. By maintaining thoughts of resilience, perseverance, and success, you transform obstacles into stepping stones that bring you closer to your goals. The creative power of thought is magnified when it's combined with belief. It's one thing to think a thought, but it's another to believe it with conviction. Belief turns a simple thought into a powerful force for creation. When you believe in your success, abundance, or happiness, you activate the full potential of your mind to bring those things into your life. This belief becomes a guiding force that shapes your decisions, actions, and interactions with the world. It influences not only how you see yourself, but also how others see you. When you truly believe in your vision, the world responds by offering opportunities and resources that support that belief. However, it's important to understand that the mind doesn't distinguish between positive and negative thoughts in terms of their creative power. Whatever you focus on, whether it's something you want or something you fear, the mind works to bring it into your reality. This is why it's so crucial to direct your thoughts toward what you want to create, rather than what you want to avoid. Focusing on the negative only strengthens its hold on your reality, while focusing on the positive moves you closer to your desired outcome. The thoughts you choose to entertain shape the entire course of your life. They determine your experiences, your interactions, and your level of success. By mastering your thoughts, you master your reality. When you learn to think in alignment with the life you want to create, you unlock the unlimited potential within you to manifest any reality you desire. Your mind is the architect of your life, and through conscious, deliberate thought, you hold the power to create a reality that reflects your highest aspirations. Living in the end result is the key to manifesting your desires into reality. It means fully immersing yourself in the feeling and experience of having already achieved what you seek, as if the outcome is already a part of your present moment. When you live in the end result, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the future you wish to create, bringing that future into the now. By doing so, you bypass doubt, worry, and fear, because you are no longer waiting for something to happen. Instead, you are embodying the certainty that it has already happened, which reshapes your reality accordingly. Living in the end requires a deep level of belief and conviction. You must be willing to suspend the need for external validation or signs of progress. The outer world might not immediately reflect your inner vision, but that is irrelevant. What matters is your internal state of being. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are shifting your consciousness to the level where your desired outcome exists. This shift is what makes living in the end so powerful. You are no longer chasing a future possibility, you are living it, here and now. When you live in the end, you are constantly reinforcing the reality you desire. Every thought, every emotion, and every action is coming from a place of already having what you want. This creates a powerful magnetic force that draws the circumstances and opportunities into your life that match the vision you hold. The universe responds to your inner state of being. If you feel like a success, you attract success. If you feel like you are loved, you attract love. The external world is a reflection of your internal reality, and by living in the end result, you ensure that the external world eventually mirrors your internal experience. Living in the end also means letting go of the how. You don't need to know exactly how your desire will manifest. Your job is to focus on the feeling of already having it, and to trust that the universe will orchestrate the details in ways you couldn't predict. Often when people try to figure out the how, they introduce resistance into the process. They become attached to specific outcomes or timelines, which can limit the flow of manifestation. But when you live in the end, you release this need for control. You understand that by holding the end result in your consciousness, the universe will bring it to you in the most efficient and harmonious way. One of the greatest challenges of living in the end is maintaining that state of certainty in the face of current circumstances that may seem contrary to your vision. However, this is precisely where the power lies. You are not reacting to the present moment as if it is final. Instead, you are choosing to stay rooted in the reality you have chosen for yourself. This requires persistence and discipline. You must continually remind yourself that the present is only a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs, and that your current focus on the end result is creating a new reality that will soon manifest. By refusing to be swayed by appearances, you reinforce your alignment with your desired outcome. Living in the end also involves shifting your self-concept. You must see yourself as the person who has already achieved what you want. This might require releasing old identities or beliefs that no longer serve you. For example, if you are trying to manifest financial abundance, you cannot continue to see yourself as someone who struggles with money. You must adopt the mindset and identity of someone who is already financially abundant. This shift in self-concept is crucial because it determines how you interact with the world. When you see yourself as the person who has already achieved success, you naturally make decisions and take actions that align with that identity. Another important aspect of living in the end is cultivating the emotions that correspond with your desired outcome. Emotions are a powerful creative force. When you feel the emotions of having already achieved your goal, whether it's joy, peace, gratitude, or love, you are signaling to the universe that this reality is already yours. These emotions not only make the process of manifestation more enjoyable, but they also accelerate the arrival of your desired outcome. The more consistently you can feel the emotions of the end result, the more quickly it will manifest in your physical reality. Living in the end also requires patience and faith. Manifestation is not always instantaneous, and there may be a time gap between when you start living in the end and when the physical reality catches up. During this period, it's important to remain steadfast in your conviction that the end result is already yours. You may not see immediate evidence of progress, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. The universe is always working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances in your favor. Your job is to maintain your focus on the end result and to trust that it is on its way, regardless of how things may look in the present moment. As you continue to live in the end, you may notice subtle shifts in your reality. Opportunities, synchronicities, and encounters begin to unfold in ways that align with your vision. These are signs that your outer world is starting to reflect the inner reality you've been cultivating. These shifts might be small at first, but they are indications that the manifestation process is underway. The more you stay committed to living in the end, the more these shifts will compound, eventually leading to the full realization of your desire. In living in the end, you are claiming ownership over your reality. You are not passively waiting for life to happen to you. Instead, you are actively creating your life from the inside out. By holding the end result in your mind and feeling as though it is already accomplished, you step into your power as a conscious creator. You recognize that you have the ability to shape your reality according to your desires, and that by living in the end, you are bringing your dreams into existence. Confidence comes from knowing, from the deep, unshakable certainty that what you desire is already yours. It is not about external validation, achievements, or circumstances. It is a state of being that arises from inner conviction. When you truly know something, there is no room for doubt or hesitation. You move with purpose, speak with assurance, and act with the understanding that success is inevitable. This inner knowing creates a foundation upon which confidence is built, and it allows you to navigate life with a sense of ease and certainty. When you know, you are no longer hoping or wishing for things to happen. You understand that they already have, and you simply need to allow the physical manifestation to catch up. This knowing is not tied to appearances or temporary setbacks. It goes beyond what the eyes can see and what logic might dictate. It is an internal state that is cultivated through a deep connection with your desires and your belief in their fulfillment. When you know something to be true, you don't need to constantly check for signs or seek reassurance from others. You don't waver in your belief, even if the outer world has yet to reflect your inner certainty. This is where confidence is born, from the ability to stand firm in your knowing, regardless of what is happening around you. Confidence that comes from knowing is far more powerful than confidence based on external factors. External confidence can be fragile, dependent on circumstances that can change at any moment. When you tie your sense of certainty to your achievements, looks, or status, it becomes vulnerable to shifts in those things. But when your confidence comes from an internal knowing, it remains steady and unshaken. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone or seek approval, because you are already sure of your outcome. You know that your success, happiness, or whatever you desire is already secured, so you move through life with an air of calm assurance. This knowing also eliminates the need for competition. When you know that what is meant for you will come to you, there is no sense of scarcity or fear of missing out. You no longer feel the need to compare yourself to others or measure your progress against someone else's timeline. Instead, you are rooted in the certainty that everything is unfolding exactly as it should for you. This breeds a quiet confidence that radiates from within. You aren't rushing or forcing things to happen because you trust the process and the timing of your life. Knowing allows you to relax and enjoy the journey, rather than anxiously waiting for results. The power of knowing transforms the way you approach challenges and obstacles. When you are rooted in certainty, challenges become mere stepping stones rather than roadblocks. You understand that setbacks are temporary and that they don't define your outcome. Instead of being derailed by difficulties, you are able to maintain your focus and keep moving forward with confidence. Knowing that success is inevitable shifts your perspective on challenges. They become opportunities for growth and learning rather than reasons to doubt yourself. This resilience is a key element of true confidence, as it comes from the unwavering belief that no matter what happens, you will ultimately achieve your desired result. Confidence that arises from knowing also changes the way you interact with others. You are no longer seeking validation or approval from those around you. Instead, you are able to engage with others from a place of authenticity and strength. This kind of confidence is magnetic because it is not forced or performative. It doesn't come from trying to impress or dominate others, but from a quiet assurance that emanates naturally. People are drawn to this energy because it represents true power, the power of being secure in yourself and your path. When you move through life with this kind of inner certainty, you inspire others to do the same. The source of this knowing lies in your connection to your inner self. It is not something you need to acquire from the outside world. It is something you cultivate from within. By aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with the reality you desire, you begin to foster this sense of knowing. It is an intuitive understanding that comes from tuning in to your inner voice and trusting it above all else. When you quiet the noise of doubt and fear, you can hear the truth that resides within you, the truth that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of all that you desire. This truth is the foundation of your knowing, and it fuels your confidence in every situation. The practice of knowing also involves visualization and feeling. When you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you desire, you reinforce your sense of certainty. You begin to embody the energy of the person who has already achieved their goals, and this embodiment strengthens your belief in your success. By consistently aligning with the feeling of the end result, you cultivate an inner knowing that is unshakable. This knowing becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as your confidence propels you to take the actions and make the decisions that lead to the realization of your desires. Another aspect of confidence that comes from knowing is patience. When you truly know something is yours, you don't feel the need to rush or force the process. You trust that everything will unfold in the right time and in the right way. This patience is not passive, it is an active state of faith and trust. You are still taking action and moving toward your goals, but you are doing so from a place of ease, rather than desperation. This patience allows you to remain calm and centered, even when things don't happen as quickly as you might have hoped. Knowing that the outcome is certain removes the anxiety and impatience that often accompany the pursuit of goals. Confidence that comes from knowing is an expression of your inner power. It is the realization that you are the creator of your reality, and that by aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions with your desires, you can bring them into existence. This type of confidence is not fleeting or dependent on external factors. It is a lasting and unshakable force that carries you through any challenge or circumstance. When you truly know that success is yours, you step into a level of confidence that allows you to achieve anything you set your mind to. Detaching from the how is a powerful practice in the process of manifesting your desires. It means releasing the need to control the specific ways in which your goal will unfold. Too often we become fixated on trying to figure out every detail of how something will happen, believing that without knowing the exact steps, we cannot reach our destination. But this mindset limits the infinite possibilities available to us. By detaching from the how, you open yourself to the abundance of ways in which your desire can manifest, allowing the universe to work through paths that you may not have even imagined. When you detach from the how, you free yourself from the constraints of logic and linear thinking. You stop trying to dictate every step and outcome, and instead trust in the process of creation. This trust is essential because the how is not your responsibility, it is the domain of the universe. Your role is to clearly define your desire and to focus on the end result, holding it in your mind and feeling as though it is already accomplished. The how will naturally be revealed as you take inspired actions, follow your intuition, and allow circumstances to unfold. By trying to control the process, you only introduce resistance, which slows down the manifestation. Detaching from the how doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It means that your actions are driven by a deeper sense of trust and flow, rather than by anxiety or force. You still act, but your actions come from a place of alignment and inspiration, rather than desperation or the need to control every detail. When you are too focused on how something will happen, you often close off potential opportunities because they don't match your expectations. You may overlook possibilities that could lead to your desired outcome simply because they don't fit the narrow vision of how you think things should unfold. Detachment allows you to be open to all possibilities. The need to control the how often stems from fear and doubt. When you doubt the possibility of your desire coming to fruition, you try to micromanage the process. You feel that if you don't have every step planned out, things won't happen the way you want them to. This mindset reflects a lack of trust in both yourself and the universe. By detaching from the how, you are practicing faith that your desire will manifest, faith that the universe knows the best way to bring it to you, and faith in your ability to receive it. This faith allows you to relax into the process, rather than becoming consumed with worry about how everything will unfold. Detachment also frees you from unnecessary stress and anxiety. When you are constantly trying to figure out the how, you expend a lot of mental and emotional energy worrying about things that are beyond your control. This drains your focus and keeps you stuck in a state of tension, which can block the manifestation process. On the other hand, when you let go of the need to control the specifics, you free up that energy to focus on more important things, like maintaining your belief in the end result and taking inspired action. You are able to approach your goals with a sense of calm and ease, knowing that everything is working out in your favor. One of the most important aspects of detaching from the how is understanding that the universe often works in ways that are beyond our immediate comprehension. What may seem impossible or unlikely to us is easily arranged by forces that operate on a much larger scale. When you trust in the unseen, you allow the universe to orchestrate events and circumstances that will lead to your desired outcome, often in ways that are far better than you could have imagined. Detachment allows you to tap into this larger intelligence and to benefit from opportunities that you couldn't have predicted or planned for yourself. Detachment is also about surrendering control over the timing of your manifestation. Not often, we become frustrated or impatient when things don't happen as quickly as we'd like, and we assume that if we knew the how, we could speed up the process. But the truth is that timing is part of the how that we need to let go of. Manifestations occur in the perfect time, when all the necessary components are in place. Trying to rush the process or control the timeline only creates resistance, which can delay the outcome. By releasing your attachment to how and when things will happen, you allow the universe to deliver your desire in the most efficient and harmonious way. Living in detachment doesn't mean you lack clarity or focus on your goal. In fact, it is the opposite. When you detach from the how, you are able to focus more intently on the end result. You no longer scatter your energy trying to figure out every detail or worrying about how things will work out. Instead, your energy is concentrated on visualizing and feeling the outcome as if it has already happened. This state of focus allows you to stay aligned with your desire, which accelerates its manifestation. Detachment sharpens your clarity because you are no longer distracted by the irrelevant details of the process. By detaching from the how, you also cultivate a sense of inner peace. You are no longer in a state of striving or chasing, but rather in a state of receiving. You are trusting that what is meant for you will find its way to you, and that you don't need to force or manipulate the process. This peace comes from knowing that you are supported by a larger intelligence that is guiding you toward your desired outcome. You can relax in the knowledge that everything is unfolding as it should, and that you will be guided to take the right actions at the right time. Detaching from the how allows you to experience more joy in the manifestation process. Instead of stressing about whether things will work out, you can enjoy the journey and the unfolding of your desire. You become more attuned to the present moment, appreciating the small steps and signs of progress along the way. Detachment makes the process of creation more fluid and enjoyable, because you are no longer trying to force things to happen in a specific way. You are able to embrace the adventure of life, trusting that the destination is assured and that the path will reveal itself in perfect timing. Detachment from the how allows you to step fully into your power as a creator. You understand that your job is to focus on the what and the why, while the universe takes care of the how. This frees you from the limitations of your own thinking and opens you to the infinite possibilities available to you. Detachment is an act of surrender, but it is also an act of empowerment, because it allows you to align with the flow of the universe and trust in the process of creation. Shifting your identity is at the core of true transformation. To manifest your desires, you must first become the person who already possesses them. This process goes beyond merely thinking or wishing for a different outcome. It requires a deep, internal shift in how you see yourself. When you shift your identity, you're no longer hoping or striving for something. Instead, you begin to embody the characteristics, beliefs, and behaviors of the person who has already achieved what you desire. This is the key to aligning with your goals and bringing them into reality. Your identity shapes your actions, thoughts, and emotions. It dictates how you move through the world and what you believe is possible for you. If you identify as someone who is unsuccessful, unlucky, or constantly struggling, your actions will reflect those beliefs, and you will attract circumstances that confirm them. On the other hand, when you identify as someone who is successful, confident, and capable, your behavior naturally aligns with that version of yourself. You begin to act, think, and feel in ways that attract success and opportunities. This is not about faking it until you make it. It's about genuinely shifting how you see yourself at the deepest level. The key to shifting your identity is to begin thinking and behaving as if you are already the person who has what you desire. This doesn't mean pretending or forcing yourself into something that feels false. Rather, it means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the version of yourself who has already achieved your goals. If you want to be wealthy, start seeing yourself as someone who manages money wisely, makes confident financial decisions, and attracts abundance. If you want to be healthy, start identifying as someone who makes nourishing choices for their body and enjoys vibrant well-being. The more you embody this new identity, the more your external reality will begin to shift to match it. The challenge many people face is that they remain stuck in their old identity while trying to achieve new outcomes. They want to experience different results in their lives, but they continue to think, feel, and act in ways that align with their current identity. This creates a disconnect between their desires and their reality. You cannot manifest change while holding on to the same identity that created your current circumstances. In order to create a new reality, you must first become a new version of yourself, one that is in alignment with the reality you want to experience. Shifting your identity requires you to let go of the old stories you've been telling yourself. These stories might include beliefs like "I'm not good enough, success is hard to achieve," or "I've always been unlucky." These narratives may have served a purpose at one point, but they are no longer aligned with the person you are becoming. By releasing these limiting beliefs, you create space for a new, empowering identity to emerge. This is not an easy process, as it often involves challenging deeply ingrained beliefs and stepping into the unknown. However, it is necessary if you want to create lasting change. As you shift your identity, your self-image becomes one of your most powerful tools. Your self-image is how you see yourself in relation to the world, and it directly influences what you believe is possible for you. If your self-image is rooted in lack or limitation, you will continue to experience those things in your life. But when you begin to see yourself as someone who is worthy of success, love, health, and abundance, your reality will begin to reflect that belief. This is why it's so important to nurture a positive and empowering self-image. The more you see yourself as capable, deserving, and powerful, the more your external circumstances will align with that vision. One of the most effective ways to shift your identity is through visualization. By vividly imagining yourself as the person you want to become, you begin to train your mind to accept this new version of yourself. When you visualize yourself already having achieved your desires, your subconscious mind begins to adopt this as your new reality. Over time, your thoughts, emotions, and actions will naturally align with this new identity. The key is to make your visualization as real and vivid as possible. Feel the emotions of already having what you want. See yourself acting with confidence, success, and ease. The more you practice this, the more your identity will shift to match your vision. Another important aspect of shifting your identity is to change your environment and habits. Your surroundings have a powerful influence on your identity, and if you continue to engage in the same habits and surround yourself with the same influences, it will be difficult to create lasting change. Begin to surround yourself with people, environments, and activities that reflect the person you want to become. This might mean changing your routine, adopting new habits, or seeking out new communities that support your growth. When your environment aligns with your new identity, it becomes easier to maintain that shift. Shifting your identity is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process of growth and evolution. As you move closer to your desires, your identity will continue to expand and evolve. Each time you achieve a goal or overcome a challenge, you are stepping into a new version of yourself. This process requires constant self-awareness and the willingness to let go of old versions of yourself that no longer serve you. The more you practice shifting your identity, the easier it becomes to step into new realities and create the life you desire. Shifting your identity is about stepping into your power as a creator of your own reality. It's about realizing that you are not defined by your past or your current circumstances. You have the ability to become whoever you choose to be, and in doing so, you can create any reality you desire. This process requires courage, commitment, and faith in yourself. But once you make the decision to shift your identity, you will begin to see the world in a new light. Opportunities will open up, challenges will become easier to overcome, and you will begin to attract the experiences and outcomes that are aligned with your new identity. By shifting your identity, you are stepping into the version of yourself who already has what you desire. This is the key to manifesting lasting change in your life. When you truly embody the characteristics, beliefs, and behaviors of the person you want to become, your external reality will naturally shift to reflect that transformation. You no longer need to chase after your desires because they are already a part of who you are. This is the power of shifting your identity. It allows you to become the creator of your own reality, fully aligned with the life you want to live. Persisting in your assumption is about holding steadfastly to the belief that what you desire is already yours, regardless of what your external circumstances may currently show. When you persist, you are unwavering in your conviction that the outcome you seek is inevitable. It doesn't matter what the world around you is reflecting back at you, your focus remains on the reality that you have chosen to believe in. This persistence is not about force or struggle, but about a quiet, unshakable knowing that what you have assumed to be true will manifest. The power of assumption lies in the fact that whatever you consistently believe and feel becomes your reality. If you assume success, abundance, or love, and hold on to that assumption with firm faith, then it must come to pass. The challenge most people face is that they waver in their assumptions. They allow doubt, fear, or negative external feedback to shake their belief. They might start off strong, fully convinced that their desired outcome is on its way. But then, when they don't see immediate evidence of it, they begin to falter. This is where persistence comes in. To truly manifest your desires, you must persist in your assumption, even when nothing seems to be happening on the surface. It's easy to stay firm in your assumption when everything is going well. When you see signs of progress, it's natural to continue believing that what you want is on its way. However, the real test of persistence comes when you are faced with doubt, setbacks, or circumstances that seem to contradict your assumption. In these moments, it can be tempting to give up on your belief or to adopt a more realistic viewpoint. But this is precisely when you need to double down on your assumption. You must remain unshaken, regardless of what the outer world is showing you, because the outer world is merely a reflection of your past thoughts and beliefs. Your new assumption has not yet fully taken root, but if you persist, it will. When you persist in your assumption, you are training your subconscious mind to accept it as truth. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts whatever is impressed upon it consistently. By persisting in your assumption, you are impressing it deeply into your subconscious, and over time it will begin to manifest in your external reality. This is why persistence is so important. It is the key to rewiring your mind to accept a new reality. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening, and you may be tempted to abandon your assumption. These moments are crucial because they test your commitment to your belief. It's important to understand that manifestation often works in unseen ways before it becomes visible in the physical world. Just because you can't see immediate results doesn't mean that things aren't happening behind the scenes. Your job is not to worry about how or when your desire will manifest, but simply to persist in the assumption that it already has. The timing and the method of manifestation are not your concern. Your only responsibility is to maintain your belief. One of the most powerful ways to persist in your assumption is through mental discipline. This means guarding your thoughts and being mindful of what you allow into your mind. If you catch yourself doubting or entertaining thoughts that contradict your assumption, immediately redirect your focus back to the desired outcome. Affirm to yourself that what you desire is already yours. Refuse to entertain any thoughts or feelings that are out of alignment with your assumption. This takes practice, but over time, it becomes easier to maintain a steady focus on your desired reality. Another important aspect of persistence is emotional resilience. You may encounter challenges, disappointments, or delays, but these are not signs that your assumption is wrong or that your desire won't manifest. Instead, they are opportunities to strengthen your resolve. When you persist in your assumption, you are cultivating a deep sense of trust in yourself and in the process of creation. You are saying to the universe that no matter what happens, you believe in the inevitability of your desired outcome. This level of conviction is what brings your desires into reality. Persistence also requires patience. Manifestation is not always instantaneous, and depending on the complexity of your desire or the depth of your previous limiting beliefs, it may take time for your assumption to fully materialize. During this time, it's important to remain patient and not become frustrated or disillusioned. Remember that the physical world operates on a different timeline than the mental and emotional realms. Just because you haven't yet seen the results in the physical world doesn't mean that your assumption isn't working. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't yet see it. As you persist in your assumption, you will begin to notice subtle changes in your thoughts, feelings, and behavior. You will start to feel more aligned with the version of yourself who has already achieved what you desire. This internal shift is the first sign that your assumption is taking root. Over time, these internal changes will begin to reflect in your external reality. Opportunities, people, and circumstances will align with your assumption, and your desired outcome will begin to take shape in the physical world. The key to persistence is consistency. You must be consistent in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. This doesn't mean that you need to be perfect or that you can never have a moment of doubt. What matters is that, overall, you remain committed to your assumption and continue to return to it, even when you stumble. Each time you reaffirm your assumption, you are strengthening it, and eventually it will become your dominant state of being. Persistence in your assumption is about faith in yourself, faith in the process of manifestation, and faith in the unseen forces that are working on your behalf. When you persist in your assumption with unwavering belief, you are declaring to the universe that you are ready and willing to receive your desire. And when you hold this level of conviction, the universe has no choice but to align with your belief and bring your assumption into reality. Gratitude for what already is a transformative practice that shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When you cultivate a mindset of gratitude, you begin to recognize and appreciate the richness of your current circumstances, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant they may appear. This acknowledgement serves as a powerful foundation for manifesting your desires, as it aligns your energy with the vibration of abundance. Rather than waiting for external conditions to change before you feel thankful, you actively choose to embrace gratitude in the present moment. This shift in perspective not only enhances your overall well-being, but also creates a fertile ground for attracting more of what you desire into your life. Many people make the mistake of believing that they can only be grateful once they achieve their goals or receive what they want. They postpone their appreciation for the future, thinking, "I'll be grateful when I have the job I want," or "I'll feel thankful once I achieve my financial goals." However, this conditional gratitude creates a barrier to abundance. By focusing solely on what you lack, you inadvertently amplify feelings of scarcity and desire. This perspective keeps you trapped in a cycle of wanting and needing, rather than opening you up to the possibilities of what already exists in your life. To truly manifest your desires, you must start by recognizing the blessings that surround you right now. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. This practice encourages you to appreciate the simple things: a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a friendly smile from a stranger, or the beauty of nature. Each of these moments holds its own significance and contributes to the overall tapestry of your life. By taking the time to acknowledge these gifts, you foster a sense of contentment and fulfillment. This feeling of abundance is essential for attracting more positive experiences into your life. The energy of gratitude resonates at a higher frequency, which aligns you with the universal laws of attraction. When you express genuine appreciation for your current circumstances, you send a clear message to the universe that you are ready to receive and receive more blessings. This alignment with abundance opens the door for new opportunities, experiences, and relationships to flow into your life. The universe responds to your energy, and when you vibrate at the frequency of gratitude, you attract experiences that mirror that same energy. Incorporating a daily gratitude practice into your routine can help reinforce this mindset. Take a few moments each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. You can write them down in a journal, share them with a friend, or simply take time to meditate on them. This practice serves as a reminder of the abundance already present in your life, allowing you to develop a deeper appreciation for it. Over time, this consistent acknowledgement will shift your overall outlook, leading you to notice even more aspects of your life to be grateful for. Gratitude also enhances your emotional resilience. Life inevitably presents challenges, and during difficult times it can be easy to fall into a negative mindset. However, when you practice gratitude, you create a buffer against adversity. By focusing on what you appreciate, you build a mental and emotional framework that allows you to navigate challenges with greater ease. This doesn't mean that difficulties won't arise, but rather that your perspective will be shaped by an underlying sense of abundance and appreciation. You'll find that even in tough times, you can still identify moments of gratitude, which can lighten your emotional burden and offer a sense of hope. Gratitude encourages you to shift from a mindset of competition to one of collaboration. When you appreciate what you have, you are less likely to compare yourself to others or feel envious of their successes. Instead, you begin to celebrate their achievements as well. This collaborative energy fosters deeper connections and relationships as you create a supportive network of people who also value gratitude. Surrounding yourself with others who share this mindset can amplify your own gratitude practice, further enhancing your ability to attract positive experiences into your life. As you deepen your practice of gratitude, you will likely notice a profound transformation in your perspective and overall quality of life. The more you focus on what you appreciate, the more your mind will seek out additional things to be grateful for. This positive feedback loop reinforces your sense of abundance, creating a self-sustaining cycle of gratitude and manifestation. You'll find that your external circumstances begin to reflect this inner change as opportunities, relationships, and experiences align with your new state of being. Gratitude for what already is empowers you to take control of your emotional landscape and create a life filled with joy and abundance. By choosing to focus on the positives in your life, you are not only enhancing your own well-being, but also laying the groundwork for the manifestation of your desires. This practice reminds you that you are already rich in experiences, relationships, and opportunities, and that the universe is always responding to your energy. When you embrace gratitude as a way of being, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities, inviting even more blessings to flow into your life. In conclusion, the journey of acting as if success is already achieved is one of profound transformation. It begins in the mind, where success is conceived through thoughts and beliefs. By feeling the emotions of achievement, aligning your actions with your vision, and recognizing that your thoughts create your reality, you build a powerful foundation for manifestation. As you live in the end result and cultivate confidence from your knowledge, you detach from the how and allow the universe to work in ways you may not yet see. Shifting your identity and persisting in your assumptions reinforce your commitment to your desired outcomes, while gratitude for what already is enhances your overall experience of abundance. Each of these principles forms a tapestry of possibility, inviting you to step boldly into the life you envision. As you embrace these concepts and practice them daily, you will not only create a future aligned with your deepest desires, but also discover the richness present in your life right now. By choosing to act as if success is already yours, you activate a transformative energy that resonates with the universe, guiding you toward your dreams. Remember, your journey begins with a single thought, a heartfelt emotion, and the unwavering belief that all you desire is already on its way. You trust in this process and watch as your reality unfolds in beautiful and unexpected ways.